In 2007, I traveled to Zanzibar to visit my mother. She had been living there for years, working as a researcher, studying old manuscripts and oral histories in the region. She wasn't the type to chase superstitions. If anything, she tried to disprove them. She rented half of a creaky old coastal house. The other half was occupied by a Ukrainian widow who had moved there after her husband's death. I never saw much of her beyond polite nods in the hallway, but knowing she was there added to the strange mix of loneliness and company in that house. The building itself had character, the kind that unsettles you the longer you sit in it. Whitewashed walls flaking from the salt air, shutters that rattled, even when the wind was still. And the floors, not cool tiles like I expected, but warped, uneven wooden planks. They groaned at every step, carrying sound from one end of the house to the other. At night, when all was quiet, I felt like the boards themselves were breathing. My room was small, barely enough space for the bed with its mosquito net, a battered dresser, and a crooked ceiling fan that whined louder than it worked. I told myself it was fine. I was there for 2 weeks, nothing more. But from the moment I arrived to Zanzibar, the island felt tense. There was political unrest that year, arguments spilling into streets, shouts at night, posters ripped from walls. People whispered about violence. And with that fear came something else. The old story. Popobawa. Whole families slept outside in courtyards. Mattresses dragged under the open sky. They lit fires to keep watch together. Because everyone said the same thing. Don't sleep alone inside. That's how it finds you. I brushed it off. I hadn't had sleep paralysis since I was 15 years old. I was 31 now. Rational. I told myself the story was no different from the Wendigo tales I'd grown up with. Just folklore wrapped around fear. So I stayed inside. I shut the shutters, locked the door, and let the house settle around me. Sometime past midnight, I woke up. At first, I thought it was silence that woke me. The fan had stopped spinning, the electricity cut again. But then I realized it wasn't just silence. The air in the room had changed. Thick, heavy, as if the night itself had seeped in through the cracks and pressed down on me. I tried to move, but my body refused. My eyes were open, but everything else was locked. That's when I heard it. A soft creak of the floorboards at the far corner of the room. Slow, deliberate, then another. The sound of weight shifting on wood. Not the house settling. This was movement. Closer. My chest tightened as a shape crawled into the thin beam of moonlight slipping between the shutters. I couldn't mistake what I saw. It was crouched low, its limbs too long, shoulders jutting like broken branches. Its skin was bare, pale, and stretched thin over bones, like a hairless cat. But it had wings folded tight against its back, leathery and ridged, twitching as though eager to spread. Its head was wrong, elongated like a bat, with a mouth too wide, too sharp, and even though its eyes reflected no light, I felt them burning into me. It moved forward in jerks, its claws scratching against the wood. Each creak of the floor felt like a countdown. My body screamed to move, to fight, but I was nailed to the mattress, helpless. When it reached the side of the bed, it lowered itself until I could smell it. Damp, sour, like rotten seawater, soaked into wood. Its face hovered inches from mine, its breath cold across my skin. Then it shifted lower, toward my feet. That's when I felt it, a wet, dragging pressure over my toes. Cold, deliberate. It wasn't feeding, it wasn't playful. It was testing me, like a predator, prodding its prey before the kill. And then, the voice. not spoken, but inside my head. Low, rasping, layered like it came from more than one throat. I closed my eyes tight and prayed like my life depended on it. Then I felt instant relief. I can move again. I got up and ran into the living room. I sat there until morning, knees pulled to my chest, shaking so hard my teeth ached. Every creak of the wooden boards made me flinch. Every brush of wind against the shutters made me sick with dread. I couldn't close my eyes. I couldn't even blink without seeing its outline burned into the back of my mind. At breakfast, my mother didn't look at me at first. She just stirred her tea and asked quietly, "You stayed inside, didn't you?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She already knew. I had planned to stay 2 weeks. I was gone the next day. I booked the first flight out. Still trembling so badly, I dropped my passport at the counter twice. I wasn't a believer before that night. I had spent years laughing off stories of demons and curses, calling them folklore, psychology, tricks of the mind. But I know what I saw in that room. I know what pressed me down, what breathed on me, what touched me, and I know what whispered to me. That's why I'm writing this now. Because they say if Popobawa visits you, you must tell the story. If you keep it to yourself, it comes back. I told this story after doing my research. It hasn't came back, nor my sleep paralysis. But I am saying it on this forum, to be sure. I can't risk that. If you made it this far, thank you. It means a lot. It would help if you can like and subscribe. Things only get darker.